There's been a lot of misinformation out there since day one. There's been some accurate information. As far as the trail of young Alison, we know that she was leaving the Monterey Park area, was supposed to be headed to San Gabriel. At some point in time, her direction veered somewhat west. I do have friends that are business owners in the city of Alhambra on Main Street. I understand that a lot of business owners were cooperative in providing video surveillance footage in helping law enforcement, specifically Monterey Park PD, in trying to locate her. At some point in time, as you folks are aware, Alison was actually was seen in the El Sereno and or Highland Park area. I personally have friends that live on that street call us, an attorney and a judge. It's my understanding that friends and family were very diligent and were actually knocking door to door, asking for video camera footage, specifically Ring cameras. It's my understanding that one of the reasons she may have been spotted in the Highland Park area was because of the fact there was a family member, I believe a grandfather at one point, that lived there in that location. The location where she was actually found, in my understanding, is that Alison showed up to the Channel 7 news location, which is somewhat northwest in a diagonal direction from the city of Highland Park. It's my understanding that immediately prior to showing up to the station, a female recognized her, began to follow Alison to the station. They made contact, they spoke, and together they arrived at the station. It's my understanding that Alison was making statements or attempting to make statements to the media. At that point in time, Glendale PD was notified. Glendale PD thereafter made contact with the Monterey Park Police Department. I was informed by Detective Zhang, who was one of the lead detectives out of Monterey Park, about the fact that she did, in fact, now make it safely to Monterey Park PD, their station. She is there. She is safe. Detective Zhang was actually scheduled to be here at 12:30 before you folks arrived for follow-up questions with Dad and family in attempting to help search for her. Of course, that became moot upon notification that Alison was found. On behalf of Mr. Chao and the family, my legal investigator here in the behind me now, Mr. Ray Laura, did commence the search as well based upon the information that's been provided by family and by the public. Based upon our experience in these kind of areas, we suspected she would be moving towards either the north or west direction from Highland Park. We thought it was unlikely she would back trail, given the fact that she didn't want to be seen or found at that point in time. We're just thankful and happy that she made it, that she's safe. As far as what is she doing now, there's a protocol involved whenever you have minor children involved in either crimes or missing child situations. It's my understanding through Detective Zhang that the DCFS, Department of Family and Child Services, has been contacted. That is protocol. As recent as about 15, 20 minutes ago, I was informed that the officers, are awaiting their arrival to conduct their investigation and or analysis before family can actually go, and specifically Dad, be allowed to go in and speak to her and talk to her. At this point in time, I want to turn the attention of Mr. Chao, Mr. Jeffrey Chao. I believe he has something to say as well to you folks.
We're going to have to move all the microphones into my room, or he's going to have to switch places.
We can switch places. We can switch. I'll get up.
In Spanish?
Podemos hacer después, sí.
Después?
Sí, sí.
Yeah, if you could switch places.
Yeah. You got it, sure.
Speak into the microphone.
Sure. You got it. Go ahead, Mr. Chao.
Thank you.
He is the father of Alison.
And Mr. Chao, can you scoot a little closer to the microphone?
All right.
Could you spell your name too?
Jeffery Chao.
Thank you, Jeffrey. Thank you.
Is there anything you'd like to say?
Well, this afternoon, everyone. I just really appreciate everyone coming out, and I really like to thank. all the friends and community that come out and help, find her. We've been really worried about where she's been. And, we really appreciate what everybody's done and helped out with.
Jeffrey, can you talk about why she left? There's a video circulating online showing that she was having problems with her mother, and Monterey Park Police were trying to get her to go to a psychiatric facility.
Ma'am, at this point in time, we cannot comment on the video. I do understand that there's a YouTube video that has come out.
Can you get closer?
Sure. Based upon the current open litigation in family law court, also juxtaposing the fact that she is a minor. Whenever there's a minor involved, either the criminal system or the family law system, there's layers of protection that are afforded the minor because of the status of being a minor. That being said, and specifically as to what you're asking about the content in that video, what was said by Alison, it cannot be commented on based upon the pending litigation.
Mr. Chao, I know your attorney brought up what people are saying on social media, and with that in mind, did you see Alison or did you hear from Alison at all this last week?
No.
You can answer that, yeah, no.
No.
Is it, I know this is such a difficult situation because you're dealing with your daughter. Do you believe that she ran away, or do you believe that somebody took her?
If I can comment on that, I think we can quote the Monterey Park Police Department. They made a statement at some point in time that they couldn't comment on that exact question. However, their official statement was that there was no immediate threat of harm. What we can say, what we do know objectively, obviously none of us here were with Alison day by day, but what is undisputed factually is that she left on her own accord on her bicycle. She was found at the station with the Good Samaritan, as I'll call her, that saw her, witnessed her, recognized her, followed her, and ultimately contacted her. Those two prior, I guess, let's call it departure and arrival, had no indications of any foul play whatsoever. My discussions with Monterey Park Police Department, I received no indication of any type of foul play. There's been no information. There's no indication of a kidnapping, if that's what you're specifically asking, ma'am.
Well, what about, and again, I understand that we're dealing with a teenager, but
Sure.
Where has she been? And where has she been staying? Where's her bicycle?
Those questions you're asking are, I'm sure, about to be asked by the Department of Child and Family Services, social workers. Mr. Chao, upon my confirmation that she is now being held at the Monterey Park Police Department, we don't have access to her at this point in time because of the protocol that's been involved. Once the social workers are done with their interview, their examinations and/or evaluations, then mom and dad can essentially talk to her, including friends and family. But at this point in time, we don't have those answers because she was just found, and they're going through the hoops as far as protocol is concerned.
Did she willingly want to go to Channel 7? Is that what we're understanding here, or was this Good Samaritan guiding her to the police station?
My sources indicate that she was on her way on her own accord to Channel 7. Yeah, yes, ma'am, sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry, you can finish answering that question, but I wanted to ask Mr. Chao if you could kind of provide some background on the family dynamics leading up to this point, who has custody.
Right. Well, I'm sorry, ma'am, I'd have to stop you there. I do have counsel here, his family law attorney. There is still an open court case as far as the custody issue is concerned. As such, they are not allowed to comment openly as to where they're at in terms of the court system, unfortunately, at this point in time.
But
You
she
can't
did
say who
live
has
with him.
custody?
She lived with mom or dad?
If I could have a brief moment. I was living with dad. I could say that she lived with dad, yeah. I can't confirm. She was living with dad. Yes.
Did
Just to follow up on that, we received an email from Emily Robinson saying that
Who's that?
a judge
Minors
granted
counsel.
sole custody decision-making to Annie Chao, the mother. Is that accurate or inaccurate?
Well, you have minors counsel who, I guess I'm gonna, as usual, I'll take the role of the bad guy here. It's my understanding that there's been issues with Minors Council. There is a lot going on within the family law case setting. Unfortunately, it can't be commented on at this point in time. But I can address what was asked prior.
I can address that.
Sure, thank you, counsel.
Are you minors?
I'm the family law attorney for Jeffrey.
Can you scoot in front
Sure.
of the microphones, I'm sorry, and say and spell your name for us?
Hannah Bui, B-U-I is the last name. I go by Hannah, H-A-N-N-A-H. In regards to sole legal custody, Minors Council is correct in the sense that mother has sole legal custody for mental health. But as far as other items are concerned, she does not. There's joint custody in that sense.
Oh, so the mother has sole legal custody for making mental health decisions on what will happen to her, but they share custody, physical custody.
Right now, if Minors Council is informing the media that mother has physical custody, yes, as of last week, physical custody was granted to mother on a temporary basis, set for a return hearing.
So
After.
this is an ongoing custody case.
Correct, and
Yes.
so I don't want to discuss further on that because it is the privacy of the minor child, along with my client wanting to keep that as a private matter. He's here to thank the public for helping in finding her, and that myself, along with his counsel and co-counsel in this matter, will help him navigate through the family court system to what he believes is in the best interest of Alison at this point.
Are there siblings?
No siblings.
Mr. Chao, are you able to say, do you have any concerns over, at this point, over Alison's safety? And can you say if DCFS has been involved with her at any point?
Firstly, to answer the latter part of your question, DCFS by operational laws is involved.
Before
They.
this?
I can say that, right? Give us a before. Can we trust the DCFS prior to?
They were involved.
I don't know. You want me to put it out there?
I don't know what's
We're
out there
going to
already.
refrain from addressing prior histories involving DCFS, given the sensitive nature. However, I can verify directly through Detective Zhang, once again, that, and also by operational law, DCFS is 100% involved. They are, I believe, physically en route if they have not already arrived at the Monterey Park Police Department.
But you just mentioned that they were involved prior. You guys just said that, right? I mean, before.
There's a history that it all ties in, unfortunately, folks, to the family law custody issues that have to be refrained upon. I'm quite shocked, to be honest, that doing your diligent work as a reporter, we're able to communicate with Minors Council. So obviously that cat is out of the bag, but at this point in time, the request is to stay silent as far as any current open, ongoing family law litigation.
Where's
Mr.
mom?
Chao.
Where's mom today celebrating this?
I don't have that answer, ma'am.
Do you have any concerns about Alison's safety right now and well-being?
Well, that's been the whole gist of this since last Tuesday, a week ago. Safety is the number one concern. Safety is the one issue that wanted to be addressed by myself and Mr. Chao and his aunt and everyone else upon notification this morning while I was at court that she was found. It's my understanding that from my source at Channel 7, people at the actual station were saying that she looked a little frail. We can understand that. She's been gone for a week. And I tried to inquire with the officers at Monterey Park PD about an hour ago about her condition. Is she physically well? How is she doing? Because of their position, typically it's not giving out any information, if anything, a little. Their position is that she is absolutely safe. That's directly from Monterey Park PD.
Mr. Chao, how are you doing? I know you seem visibly upset, but I'm sure this has been a long week for you. What's going through your mind? And walk us through what this week has been like for you.
It's just been very tiring. Been very concerned. You know, I just want what's in the best interest of Alison at this point.
So you haven't been able to see her yet?
Let's answer that now.
No.
My time of coming to know Mr. Chao, I know he's a loving father. He served in the military for this country prior. He's done absolutely everything possible within his power to try to bring Alison home. I'm sure you folks have seen the initial flyer that was made for Alison, the red flyer. That was actually done by, I think, one of the children here, this gentleman here. At some point in time, I think the phone numbers were changed throughout the last week or so to have the number directed other places. But from day one, it was my client and his family and friends that put the flyer together, that were out there searching diligently and doing everything in their possible power to bring her home. I know Mike's knowing Mr. Chao. He's a reserved gentleman, not vocal, at least to the degree of some of us, like myself, maybe some of you guys. But he has done absolutely everything possible to bring her home. And we're just glad that we got the news today that she's back and that she is safe.
Was mom out there searching too the entire time?
I don't know Mom personally. It's my understanding that Mom was making efforts as well, out there as well. Yeah.
Just to clarify pardon me guys, just to clarify, so it's believed, no foul play here, that she left on her own accord. Where she was, we're gonna figure out later.
Correct.
But we do not believe that she was abducted. We believe that she left, she ran away.
That's our understanding. That's my understanding. That's based upon once again, the evidence, how she left, how she got found, and my communication with law enforcement. There's been, I believe from the get-go, no real suspicion of foul play or an actual kidnapping, if you will, in the traditional sense.
Do you think she had any help along the way?
Well, I hate to speculate. I don't have that answer. There were questions asked before. Perhaps I could take the time now to clarify. It's my understanding that she did not have her cell phone. I don't believe she was using a debit card or credit card. And I believe at some point in time in her keys, she actually had, was it an AirTag? But she didn't have those items on her upon departure.
Mr. Chao, are you currently seeking full custody and
I'm sorry, but we can't comment on that right now. Yeah, that's well, first of all, it's a question directed at Ms. Bowie here, but once again, it's already ongoing litigation at this point
And
now.
attorney, you're the defense, you're his divorce attorney.
Counsel here is the divorce attorney. I'm somewhat of a spokesperson capacity. And so part of my, I guess for lack of a better word, the reason why I'm here was aiding and bringing all you folks here in the media together, initially with the point of being to try to help find her and bring her home.
Okay, but attorney,
Yeah.
you're his lawyer, you're his divorce lawyer, and then we've got minors counsel somewhere else.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. Yes, ma'am.
I understand that.
Are you the friends divorced or you divorced? I'm sorry.
Am I divorced?
No.
I'm just kidding. I can't comment on that. Your questions about the.
I wanna know, her friends are here.
Sure.
Somebody wants to talk to you?
Yeah, I think, you guys want to talk? I think they had some statements, but actually there were statements that we were going to talk about when we thought she was missing, but you guys want to say, you guys are.
I'm so sorry to interrupt, I just wanted to ask Mr. Chao if there is anything you would like to share about Alison, your relationship with her, and just her as a child and your daughter, for us to know a little bit more about her.
She's a very intelligent child person, and she's, a godly person that just really with a really good heart.
Is she pretty street savvy? I mean, she was a 15-year-old, Mr. Chao, out of, we don't know where she was for this last week.
Well, I will say this. I know that she's definitely a smart girl. Alison went to the same grammar school that I went to. That's All Souls Elementary in Alhambra. I actually lived there, so it's close to home. My investigator, Ray, his two children went to All Souls Elementary, lives in the area. So this is really a community thing for a lot of us. But I do have her best friends that are here. Just because of their age, we're going to refrain from stating their names. You guys went to All Souls as well?
Yeah.
Oh, we got more Panthers over here, All Souls Panthers. And from what I understand, Alison used to bake really good. She's a great baker. But did you guys want to say something to Alison?
To Alison herself.
You can say it to Alison herself or to the folks.
Okay.
Yeah, do you want to go ahead? We're not going to say their names. You guys want to come over here? Let's switch. Sure, we can do that. Yeah, come over here, guys. Why don't you stand up right here, Mr. Chao? Yeah.
There you go.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
come on over, guys.
I'll be the chair monitor.
All right.
And put it forward.
So, in respecting families' wishes, we'll refrain from their names. They are juveniles as well.
Do their parents, do they have their parents' permission to?
Yes, both my parents
they
do.
do. Yes, they do. They actually came prepared with speeches in trying to help get Alison back to find her. Everyone's happy that she was found, but why don't you tell us a little bit of Alison or what anything you want to say to her?
Okay.
Can you lean in?
Sorry. To tell a little bit about Alison, since we went to the same elementary school, she would always help me learn Chinese. And to her, I guess I was known as the boy with a bowl cut. And I've known her for 10 years now. She would always bring baked goods to my house since I live in the neighborhood of her aunt. And one thing to say to her that my sister and I could say is that I know everything, and my dad knows everything. And we are going to do the best to help you, Alison. And that would be all.
Great, good job. Good job. Do you want to say something, too?
Forward. There you go.
And you guys are brother and sister, is that correct?
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay, okay. You want to go ahead and speak to the people and or Alison directly?
Alison, I just wanted to say I'm your friend and I'm here to support you, and I want to help make sure that you end up in the right place.
Great.
Thank you.
One more question. What's your reaction to her being found after being missing for a week?
Well, we didn't find out until like this morning, and we were very glad, and we were just praying that she was safe. Thank you.
Good job. Good job. Okay, folks. At this point, I'm not sure if you guys have any other questions or concerns.
Thank you.
Mr. Chao, has she ever had a history of wanting to run away? Has she ever indicated that she wanted to leave the home or done anything similar to this?
We don't want to get into it if it involves. The answer is no. The answer is no, but.
I'm not aware of any.
Okay. My client's, to answer your question, ma'am, he's unaware of any desires or intent on doing anything like this.
And she's never run away before?
No, that's my understanding. Yes. Okay.
Thank you.
You guys got it? Thank you, guys.
I would like to
Yes.
speak. Do I need
Oh,
to-
I'm sorry. Yes, we got, yes, I'm sorry. We have, this is Alison's aunt,
Okay. Jeffrey's
Yes.
brother? Jeffrey's
sister.
Right there, Jay.
I think it's very important that as a community, we all band together to fight for Alison and make sure her voice is heard. The system has failed her. We are hearing that this is a child who would never do anything like this. She is a good kid. She is a smart kid. She's a kind kid. She goes to Bible study. She would never do anything like this. So I need the community to make sure that we fight for her and we make sure that her voice and her story is heard. Changes need to be made. People need to be held accountable. This is not acceptable.
For people that don't know, can you kind of get into why or how the system has failed?
Yeah, I'm a little confused about that. The decisions made by the courts, or?
Has the court
It's my, well, I don't want to speak for the aunt here, but unfortunately, going back to the history that's been mentioned, the current litigation, prior litigation, it's my understanding that family's upset with how things had transpired within the system, but,
Who do they think failed?
well,
I mean, you're saying the family, well, obviously.
I'm not saying it, but yeah.
This is the family court system.
sure, well, there's,
Is that what you mean when you say the system failed?
I just want her story to, like, I want her voice to be heard. Is that too much to ask?
It's not too much to ask, we just want to clarify so that.
Because she's a child, I feel like nobody wants to hear her.
We want to hear her. We want to hear her, but we need to understand what the system, the school system, the family court system, what's the system?
Ma'am, you
Yeah.
mentioned accountability. What does accountability look like in this case, and can you say who should be held accountable?
How come we
Just, at this point in time, based upon the fact that this is the aunt as opposed to a father or mother, I believe it's, I guess, in my client's best interest that we refrain from answering that. But I think the sentiment of the aunt here, I think, is not mistaken. It's been, she said what she's had to say. I do understand, concur with her. But in terms of delving into specifics at this point in time, unfortunately, once again, given the current pending litigation, can't be commented on.
To be clear, I mean, I think we want to help get that message out there. We just want to be able to navigate who she is trying to say is at fault.
I understand your position, sir.
Yeah, you angry the mom or the court system? Who you're angry at?
You can talk.
Let me go a second here. So she's not a party. Can she say what she wants to say? How will it affect your litigation family court? Cutter? Okay. Based upon, once again, unfortunately, the current open litigation, it's a request of counsel for Mr. Chao in family law court that at the end, not further comment. She has made her statement, and we're going to leave it at that.
Please spell,
You don't have to give it if you don't want to, but it's up to you. She's going to choose not to. This just referred to her as Allison's aunt. Thank you. I'm hopeful that I'm going to be receiving an update. If not, I'll demand an update. I'll be contacting the detectives as well personally to confer where we're at with the timeline here. As mentioned, anytime a child is involved in anything related to criminal law or any type of accusations of any sort, DCFS by operational law is contacted. If you go to the doctor as a child and the doctor suspects something, the doctor by operational law has to contact law enforcement. At this point in time, we're anxious for her to be released, but at this point in time, she is being held.
But you did say DCFS was involved prior.
That's correct. Well, I did say DCFS is on the way right now.
But you did say earlier that they were involved
I was not her attorney. Excuse me, her attorney, or little Miss Jeffrey's attorney prior. I don't have specific information. I was not involved.
But just to clarify, the mother has temporary sole custody right now.
as of last week.
As of last week.
That's what you
Counsel
said.
can address that. She's the attorney for him.
That's correct.
That's correct.
Yeah.
Okay, and it appears that is not what Alison wants.
Is that video that's circulating accurate with the police at the door, Alison saying she doesn't want to go with her mom? Is that actually Alison?
I understand that is Allison, based upon, unfortunately, I hate playing this game with you folks over here, but the pending litigation statements that were made do have a legal bearing inside a court of law, specifically a family law court. Can't be commented on.
Did she say anything prior to leaving? Anything noteworthy?
That's a good question. I don't have that answer. Mr. Chao, did she make an indication? No. There was no note, no indication, according to Mr. Chao, that she had any intent whatsoever to leave the home.
What was the last interaction you had with her?
Yeah, just her leaving.
So did you see her leave?
Yes, I did.
And she just got on her bike to go to her grandparents and just said bye.
To her aunt's house.
In the city of San Gabriel,
Yeah.
right.
This not right here? This thing? Oh, okay.
Yes.
To clarify though, is that video real? That really is her voice? That's a real video?
It is a real video. We have discussed it. It is her talking, yes.
And you were there because we could hear you?
Well, we're,
Who shot the video?
we're not gonna get into that.
Allison?
On that.
Allison.
She did herself? Yeah. We're not gonna comment on that right now.
And then, Mr. Chao, any last reaction? Your daughter's back safe after a week of not knowing where she is. Your reaction to that?
It's difficult because the patient is not saying anything.
It's difficult that what?
It's difficult for the patient can't say anything. I mean, obviously we're concerned about her safety.
Yeah, just to clarify, we're having our football huddle about, Mr. Chao does want to express his entire feelings, his sentiments about what's happening with court, but it's frustrating for him right now because of the current pending litigation. In these kind of scenarios, if you say something, it can be not only in criminal law and family law, any court setting in reality can be used against you. And so he is frustrated with that aspect. He wants to express his concerns, his issues, and everything he can with you folks, but he is unfortunately at this point in time he can't because of the open litigation. As mentioned by counsel, they're still going to court here, and that's where it's at.
This is just sort of factual. Are you divorced or are you
Answer
married to her mother?
Counsel can answer that, sure.
Is he divorced or married to her mother?
He's in the middle of a divorce proceeding.
How long has it been going on?
Since April of last year.
Okay, so, more than just 1 year.
Correct. Yes.
And just for the record, Alison has been living with Dad for that entire year.
Oh, okay.
Jenny,
For what entire, sorry, what period?
Back to from my understanding, the onset of litigation, the divorce back, was it March, April of last year? More about March of 2023. She has been living with Dad the entire time.
Jenny, you seem pretty close with Alison. I know she was biking to your house. Can you speak with us about her personality, what she's like? Is she someone you view as almost like a daughter to you?
Yeah, she's just a teenager who loves K-pop. Can we have you?
Sure, let's play musical chairs over here. Yes.
Es la hermana.
Sí, la hermana de él, sí.
I have one more question.
Got that on film already.
Tell us about
Sure.
Alison, Jenny.
Allison's just a great kid. She is an amazing artist. She really good baker. She's like a teenager who just loves K-pop, likes to do K-pop dances, and is a wonderful cousin to my daughter. She's very kind and caring and considerate. She's just such an amazing kid, so I'm so happy that we found her and that she's safe.
What has this week been like for you?
It's been a nightmare. I have not slept. And we just kept searching and kept searching. So I'm very happy that she's found. And I really want to thank the communities. We've made so many, met so many amazing people who have just offered to help and tirelessly searched all kinds of areas. And I'm just really, really impressed with how good people still are.
We know how delicate this is, and you guys were just talking about how she had been living with Dad, and you just had said earlier that the court had ruled just last week that her mother would get custody. Do you think possibly that was the impetus for her to leave, knowing that she was going to have to leave the home that she loves with her father?
You can answer that. That's your personal opinion, ma'am. You can answer that.
Can you please ask that again?
My opinion, my question is, she's been living with Dad. They're in the middle of a divorce. The court rules a judge in a family in a courtroom rules that she has to now go live with her mother. And then she decides to leave. Do you think that might have been the impetus because she wants to stay with her dad?
Well, she said on the video that her mom was forcing her to check into a mental health facility. Was that the impetus?
Well, we don't want to comment on the mental health facility portion, but in addressing your question as to, it's your opinion, your own opinion, if you think if she left because she now has to go with Mom as opposed to Dad, that is your opinion, it doesn't.
That would answer the whole system question. You know, she wants to be with her father. It's clear. She's 15, and I know in family court, that's, you know, you're in that gray area where you can't make that decision. And so perhaps she wanted to stay with Dad and found out she was going to have to go live with her mother.
Or her mother was gonna have say in her life.
So I'm allowed to answer this?
That's your opinion.
Yes, yeah, the answer is yes, you
Maybe
can
that's why
answer.
Maybe, you know, was so crestfallen because she was gonna have to go back she had to live with her mom.
Why do you think she left?
Yes, I absolutely, that's what we were speculating and thinking.
Can you say that in a sentence, like elaborate, like what are your thoughts on why she ran away?
She doesn't like her mother, so she ran away because they were going to force her to be with her.
Can he say that, or should I
Can
say
I-
that?
Well.
Opinion-wise? Opinion-wise?
I don't like being in front of the cameras. I'm a very private person. This is very difficult for me.
Yeah. But I think we understand what you're saying. What he said, she didn't like her mother. She wanted to be with her father, and she was sad because the court was now forcing her to live with her mother.
I have not spoken to her since she was last seen. I do not know exactly what was going on through her head or what she was thinking. I don't know when I will be able to see her. But yes, I think she ran away because she didn't want to be with her mother.
I just want to make it clear that these are temporary orders set to be reheard and set to be relitigated. So these were just temporary.
Yes, anything further?
No, thank you for clarifying that
Thank
though,
you.
because we're kind of, I know
Yeah,
you guys are all
yeah.
in it and you know the background and we're just kind of coming into this.
Well, I think that hit it home.
What is
Yeah,
going
yeah.
on? Yeah,
Sure,
I
sure.
don't know
I kind of don't know what the
Sure.
back and forth.
To the attorney, can you, say when are the next proceedings, or like when a decision or a hearing is scheduled?
I believe you guys are court reporters and are able and intelligent enough to figure that one out.
Sure. You could get help from her down there. She's, she knows what she's doing. Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Thank you guys again. Glad that worked out. Yes. See. And this is for the record, folks. This is not coming from counsel. This is best friend's opinion. Like I'm sure you've seen everyone's opinion on social media.
So,
How old are you, sir?
I'm 15, ma'am.
And can you lean into the microphone?
Sure thing.
Thank you.
So, in my opinion, she does not enjoy the presence of her mother. She's, like what that video showed online, she said that she doesn't feel safe. And I can understand completely, because one night when I was texting her, she decided to open up about her situation. And I'm just going to be very, very vague for legal reasons. But her mother is like the devil to her, you know? She wants to stay away from her. And in my opinion, I believe the mother's like very narcissistic in terms of past interviews, past experiences. Her dad has always been in her life ever since I was in school. It's always been him that's dropping her off, picking her up. And the times I do see her mom, it would be for like 1 or 2 times a year, only for like the, I guess, big events. She's very absent in her life, you know? And she would definitely run away from home if she was to be forced into the care of her mother, especially if they were going to put her someplace she doesn't want to be for what they say is temporary. But if they analyze that she may not be stable, it's going to be for a long time, because I've also been to a similar place like that. And on top of it, the mother has like a buttload of money, you know, especially her family. So it's very tricky for her father, because just recently he's been followed too, you know. And his major concern, Mr. Jeffrey's concern about my family and us, is that we're also going to get targeted by her mother, you know. So it's very concerning that Alison was going to be in the mom's care, and I can only hope that she would be in the right hands after this has all settled.
Thank you. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.